Senior Principal Engineer at Baxter International, who has 20 years of experience in renal therapy, water purification, filtration, and polymer science. She leads R&D and IP management in exploratory research. We are also joined by Mr. Manish Sinha from PatSeer with 15 plus years of experience in IP and patent text mining, who has worked with Fortune 100 companies and startups to optimize patent research. He co-authored the Guide to Practical Patent Searching. Next is Dr. Nimisha Patre from Dow. With 15 plus years of experience, global experience, Ms. Patre is a passionate and a visionary researcher focused on ESG transformation in the chemical industry. She aligns robust IP strategies with business goals, seamlessly bridging R&D, marketing, and sales. Welcome, ma'am. Lastly, we welcome Mr. Dinesh Narayan Kuti from Clarivate. As Senior Director at Clarivate Analytics, Mr. Kuti leads the patent research and analytics business. With 19 plus years of experience in IP, he blends AI-driven technology with human expertise to solve IP challenges. With that, I would request our moderator to kindly take over this session, and yeah, we can go ahead with this.
Thank you. Now that he has already done the introduction, my job is half done, all right? And rather than being there, I'll be on your side, right? Because my questions would be from this side of the table, right? From the audience here. And the topic is impact of AI on IP search and analysis. And we all believe that this is a practical aspect of AI, which everybody would be touching sooner than the other aspects of AI. Now, there are surely certain tools which are having AI already integrated in them, but there is always a challenge of in terms of search. Okay, there could be problem at multiple level. There could be problem at search, screening, extraction, analysis, insight generation, and finally concluding or taking actionable insights out of whatever we do, right? We all agree with that. Now, for that, we believe that AI is going to do some of it bit by bit or all of it. I'm sure there is no fear in the community here that AI will replace us. We will still be required, right, to operate the AI, give the prompt, and then get what the organization wants from us and AI. But let's hear from you guys as to what are the typical pain points in your work that you feel that AI should solve. So I'm coming directly to the audience, not to the panelists here, and wanting to know, that we all want to know, what kind of pain points or challenges you have in your work which you believe AI should solve. Who wants to go first? Any user? Yeah, okay.
Thank you. The issue which I've been into patent search and analytics. I'm from Sengubin Research India. So the issue which we mainly face when we try to implement AI for the search is the relevancy part and how it is categorizing the relevancy. Like sometimes we are working with some prototype for the search part and the analysis part, but the issue we face mainly is the relevancy, whether sometimes it's making it relevant, sometimes it is categorizing the relevant patent as non-relevant. So that is something which we keep facing. How much ever we keep changing the prompt, so this is a constant issue which we try to address.
Okay. So we relate to your problem. We understand your problem, and in our meeting we have discussed this, so we will surely touch upon this. Any other challenge? Anyone else? What kind of challenge you face which you want AI to solve in patent search analysis? One more person. No? Yes? Mani?
So this, I'm sure your address is already Madhav, but would AI solve the problem of, meritless patents?
Good perspective. So meritless patent should get removed automatically from your search output, right? Because people may still file meritless patents. They should not be part of your output. I think that could solve partial problem. Right. Not as innovation. Okay. All right. So with these two questions, now we come back to two users that we have here. So Tarakranjan and Nimisha are the user community. They are representing you as a user community. And Manish and Dinesh are from the AI side, right? The tools community. And let's hear their views on where are the problems, pain points that they face, and let's see how currently. Okay, so we have decided to discuss it in a sequence. First, we will touch upon the current state of the tools that we already have in hand, and we will hear from them. Then we will try to hear from them the pain points with the current situation, current tools. Then we will go to the tools side, right, and try to hear what is the current state, and then what could be the future state of it, right? And that's the way we will try to cover the topic. So, Tarakranjan, from your viewpoint, current state and pain points.
Yes, first I will say as mentioned by, thanks Madhav, pain points. We didn't know it's a pain or not because when it started in 2005, that first project I have received is more than 3,000 patent and I have to go through within 7 days. So that time it was not a pain because there was no alternative available, definitely. And someone already mentioned that we have to sort it out, that is a patent that we don't want. And that we need to do manually. And in this age, I will say about 2021-22, the AI has come and it has been attached to that our search. I will say within earlier it was a manual search in terms of the keywords classification. Now AI has been amalgamated. So it is still new to our territory, solving some problem, but it's kind of that it's a handle with care. That means I feel, it's my personal thing, that I am just a little bit tentative. Okay, I am using AI, whether I am completely believing you or not. And pain points is like that, so that if you not, how much we believe the AI, because I was comfortable with the keyword search and traditional search, but that is consuming more time.
Okay, so to summarize, you're talking about the confidence on the AI output. It's still not there. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, let's hear from Nimisha.
Thank you, Madhav. Thank you, Tarak. And I'm honored to be part of this panel discussion. So as Tarak has shared the example of 2005 when he started journey, and I think it is not different when I started my journey in the IP world in 2013. So at that time, it was a lot of challenge of working on your search strategy, and it takes days and days to work on your search strategy and the analysis. But though with the AI, we have come so far in this journey, but I think still there is a lot of improvement is required. Because still we are facing a challenge, especially in the new technology like sustainability. So very recently I shared a personal example. I was searching on the sustainability area, and since sustainability itself, it's a new technology which is not available in the lot of patents. So if you do a keyword search or if you do even a AI search, it is very difficult to find all the patents, and then you will get lot of false false negatives. So I think that is somewhere which is a pain point. And AI has definitely increased our speed. It gives lot of accuracy, but how it is working fast on the new technologies, I think that is somewhere we required from the user perspective.
So maybe let's move to your side and see what is the current state, right? Manish?
Sure. So, when we speak about AI search and in general IP search, we need to understand when we talk about how good AI is or how does it compare, the question is, what are we comparing with? So we did a recent benchmarking activity, and this was done by a QPIP. We did it in collaboration with a QPIP certified professional who is very good at searching. And so when we look at Boolean, there are three stages actually. One is what we call as, you do a Boolean search, you restrict it and bring it down to a reasonable number, and then the set of results that you see. That is a Boolean search stage. Then the next one is, in a prior art or an opposition, a person quickly wants to come up with 10, 12 relevant ones, the X's and the Y's, and they want to include in their report. And then they give a bunch of also related kind of a records which they just want to include in their report. So this output, so there is a Boolean output of those 500 results. There is another output in which the human has taken 10, 12, put it on top, and then given a remaining. And the third one is where you go like what you do in FTO, you go deep dive, you read each and every one of it, and then re-rank it, and then it's like full re-ranked. And then it's like the gold standard of the output. So what we realized, and we did this test of AI, this was done with PatSeer's AI, and this was done with PatSeer's AI versus these three. We called it Boolean, we called it Boolean plus human, and then Boolean plus full re-rank, like human full re-rank. And there were three cases also we took. The first one was a very narrow search. The second one also equally narrow, and the third one was a broader landscape search. So what we realized is that for the landscape search, AI is equal to or performing as good as a Boolean plus human. It goes a little bit more. Closer to between Boolean and Boolean plus human for a slightly medium focused, and for the narrow one, the human element is ranking better, Boolean plus human. So, but one must understand that unlike Boolean, the engine, and now I'm talking about Boolean search algorithm, AI search algorithm is evolving every year, and it is getting better and better. The Boolean search engine, BM25, is the underlying algo which most engines use. It's been there for, the last evolution was an Okapi version of BM25 which came 7-8 years back, and after that BM25 has not seen much. There are newer AI-based sparse models that are now replacing that BM25. So the AI one, however, has evolved. Literally every 6 months there is a new algo which is doing better. And so even in PatSeer, when we launched last year, the first last to last year, now this is 2025. In last year we went to version 2 of our AI, which was giving us like at least a 30% performance improvement. So to cut it short, what I'm trying to say, the relevance, as you say, yes, you have a couple of false positives in it. It's a challenge, but it is something that is continuously evolving. For larger landscape, it is performing at a Boolean plus human level, but for very focused stuff today, it's still there is some things to catch up with.
Okay, Dinesh.
Thank you. Firstly, thank you for having me here. And for the majority of my experience in IP, I was a practitioner. I started my career as a searcher, so I completely empathize with the relevance and some of the pain points that were raised today. And our organization, the way we are approaching AI or incorporating AI is take an approach which is to empower the practitioners, not to replace. Right? That is the core in terms of what we are trying to do with AI. And I like what Manish also mentioned. It's going to take some time to evolve. And the reason for that, if I give you an analogy, is if you are an organization, you are an in-house firm, you outsource work. I've been in that position, right? So what good is, or what is good quality, is a bit subjective. So even when you outsource to people, not AI, there is at times, you feel the quality is not there, or what I thought was relevant, this particular analyst is not able to find it, and these are people, They went to colleges like yourself. They have a lot of experience as well. So they take some time to understand and align with your stylistic way of analyzing what good looks like or what a relevant reference looks like. AI is in a similar position, right? And you can do the best in terms of, you've chosen the best algorithm, which focuses on search and retrieve, which is the Colbert language transformer model, which is specialized in search and retrieving the most relevant results from a global corpus. And we are running it on the most high quality data, which is DWPI, manually curated data, right? And yet we will find these false positives or false negatives that Nimisha mentioned as well. And the reason for that is it is not doing what a typical semantic search would do. It is not looking at keywords and finding things out. It is trying to mimic what a human expert would do, which is look at the technical concept and retrieve results. And the more you train and the more you work with this algorithm, it will only get better. AI will not have an off day. Oh, I did the search in an afternoon, I had a heavy meal, right? It's not going to go off track. I had some problems at home. I couldn't focus on my search. You will never hear that with AI. It's going to get only better, right? But as I said in the beginning, our vision is to empower, not to replace. And when I say empower, it is to take away all the mundane tasks of looking at thousands and thousands of references, making the job of a practitioner easy by presenting to you with results upfront, which the AI, the machine thinks is more relevant, and continuously iterate and become better. So I think it's going to be a win-win in the end if AI does succeed in that, in that journey.
All right. So before coming to the user side again, are there any questions based on the current discussion that we had? Any questions from the audience? With whatever light you got from the speakers as of now.
Not from user side, but tool side, vendor side. I'm Kavita from Questel. So as I have experience in market, user want everything fast. They just want some data or some keywords should be there and promptly we get all the relevant results. But being a patent analyst, you need to understand like your job is analyzing better and better. So, and understanding the technology and giving the output. And the vendor size, we face two kind of things. Like user wants faster result, but at the same time they ask for the how secure it is. And making them understand how secure AI we are using and what label, it's very, very difficult for us to make them understand, because when we don't have AI tool, then they say, okay, come up with some AI, other vendor are coming up. When we come up with the AI, they say, no, we don't want to use because as per our company policy, it's not allowed. So that's a pain we face. But as Manish and Dinesh has told the same story, if your Boolean can be replaced by AI, but analysis where human interference is there, we have to utilize that human interference, and slowly AI will develop more and more.
Thank you. Thank you, Kavita. So I think this problem will get solved soon, or it's getting already solved with the agreements between the AI provider and the AI user. And then there are firewalls and the AI working within the firewall and not sending any data outside your organization. That's so Manish's system will not see what searches we did, right, Manish? Right? So, but then you still have the layer of their AI, the algorithm is working, but they are not having access to the data that user is submitting, the kind of keywords we are submitting, the kind of searches we are submitting, the output we are getting, or any insights we are generating. They will not have access, and they are, I think, ready to sign the agreement with us, right? And it's already in place. So I think if your organization has a way of, having a firewall and keeping information within your organization, they are, I think the tool side, the vendors are ready to do that, right? So that problem will get solved very soon, because everybody is going to use AI, and it is somebody else's AI you are applying on your system and on your data. So that will get solved. Coming back to you. So we talked about pain points. Now, what are your expectations from AI? Where there are other pain points and challenges, and how you think, or where you think AI can save your time, energy, right? And then allow you to do some things, or more important things, and not waste time in doing the repetitive things. Please.
Yes, a very good question and relevance. That's where actually our user meets the service provider. What's actually our pain point and how actually you want the AI to help my work. I will tell that this is AI means when I do the search in AI, also in Boolean, it is a healthy competition between my intelligence and artificial intelligence. And there I must say for the exception artificial intelligence to win over me. Because if I win, it is my loss because I am losing the time, I am losing the money, I will be exhausted. So if the artificial intelligence need to overcome my intelligence, for example, I have just tried to get one of the FTO search. I know that there is a 2 seed references and started to search in the AI database. Obviously one of them, one of your the service provider. And 30-40% cases I found the seed references at the top. Some cases I didn't. So that's my point that it should be as he mentioned, Madhav mentioned that how actually like that it should be more and more I should be successful that AI actually is bringing up that references I want and it should win over my intelligence and without much actually my intelligence will be using the tool, using the database, using the AI permutation combinations and different versions and I will say the side of AI, but I will do the minimum of my brain, whatever using. That's my expectation.
So I think he's coming to having a gold standard in every aspect of search, extraction, analysis, insight generation, right? So probably we are pretty close in search area as of now, but not really on the later stages of the project, and so that's what he is actually expecting. Nimisha.
Yeah, so I think what Tarak has mentioned, I agree on that, and just I want to add on that point that I think user wants everything now since AI is in place, right? And this is not true, right? If we remember the story of Gary Kasparov and Deep Blue in 1990, when Deep Blue has won the Gary Kasparov in the chess, right? Everyone thinks that the artificial intelligence or the computers, they won on the human, but that is not true because they cannot replace the human intelligence. And the reason why I am saying this, we are getting a very good search results, we are getting a very good bibliographic trends, but still the challenge is on the text mining. What exactly you are looking from your technology perspective is the artificial intelligence provided you that results. And even if some of the tools or databases, they provided you that insight, are they provided you any actionable insights from that? And that is where I think that is a major pain point which users are still, we have to spend a lot of time. Another thing, when the data set is coming, they are filtering up to a very minimum number of the data set, especially for example in a niche technology, I work in the polyethylene, which all depends on the density parameters. Now, even if I try to find out with the application, I will get at least 500 patents. And maybe artificial intelligence will help me to narrow it down to the 100 patents. But when I pass on to my clients, they say, no, 100 is more. Can you give me less? Right? Because they have to read, they have to review. So still we have to rely on the human mind for reviewing those 100 patents and to get an insight. So I think the best way is the integration of using AI as a tool and integrating it with the human mind. I think this is what best we can do, at least today.
Yeah, I think she wants to save time with AI. He wants to have a better confidence on AI, right? I'm sure you guys are developing those tools, but let's hear from you.
Yeah, I think spot on in terms of the roadmap that we have. The first one is obviously to reduce the noise, improve relevancy. I think that everybody is working on, and we are definitely focusing on that. And improve predictive capabilities, like Nimisha said. Right? How can we give actionable insights that not only makes your job easy, but makes you more effective? Right? That's definitely one of the goals that we have. And get into, but what we are careful about is like in our world, as you would know, right, if you make recommendations, some things can be considered as legal advice, right? And there is also this entire debate around inventorship or ownership. Who owns this IP? I mean, USPTO has already picked it up in 2024 in April, asking for commentary that what qualifies as patentable if an AI is involved, right? So you have to be very careful in terms of choosing a provider who can give you transparency in terms of your data privacy, your confidentiality will be maintained while giving you these benefits, giving you efficiency, which should be a given, giving you more relevancy and predictability, right? Our ambition is to create something like ChatGPT, where you can converse normally. You don't have to know Boolean operators, whether you're from R&D or from IP, but you don't have the drawbacks of ChatGPT, which is, your data is leaked out to the open universe. You can maintain confidentiality and data privacy, and most importantly, retain ownership. That balance is what is one of our ambitions in terms of the future developments and stuff.
Before going to Manish, you spoke about actually predictive intelligence. That's the later stage. We are still at generative intelligence.
Yeah.
But I think we are doing pretty good with generative intelligence in terms of summarizing a patent, right? In general. But now with context, with that summary be different. I think that is very important aspect of it. Like there is a data set of say 200 patents today. Today I'm looking at that set with product perspective. So my prompt is like what kind of products are discussed. Another day I could be interested in process, how to make them. A third time, maybe after a week, I may be interested in the composition or formulation, right? And then maybe application. So with the same data set, with different prompts, how accurate, the confidence, the gold standard, right? How accurate information I get as an output from those 200 patents, and then that has to match with the human analysis. And I think that's where there is still some gap.
Yeah.
Obviously, we need to improve our prompts as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the AI needs to understand the context and then provide us the right information. If she is asking density between 0.8 and 0.85, she should be getting those patents of 0.8 and 0.85. And that's a very narrow range,
Yeah.
right? So I think, coming back to you, I think my point is, predictive intelligence and generative we are good. Extracting the exact information is still not there on generative. Predictive is still further or farther. Yeah. Manish.
Yeah, thanks, Madhav, for that thing. Yes, definitely. So I will try to address some of it, and also, what Nimisha and Tarak here mentioned. So if we look at IP search and analysis, if we just look at that and we break it down, let's just talk about IP search and where AI is coming into place. So you've got search, then typically then you go into a scan the results mode, and then you go into deeper analysis of the remaining 100 or 50 records. So these are three stages of the IP search project that anyone typically does. And we already spoke about, and I also spoke about the first part last time, and wherein Tarak said that he's expecting a fully highly relevant set of results on the top, but AI is not there yet. You do get relevant sets on tops, but you will find a relevant record lying at position number 257 also, and then you'll be like, okay, why did this happen? I don't know, but that's how it is right now. So, which is also why, and this is the case, that just to add on this aspect, that AI is very much in use for novelty and opposition kind of searches, because nobody is really looking at all the relevant hits there. They are okay with the top 10, 12. The moment they have their X's and the couple of those, then they're good. Going into the use of AI beyond the search aspect into scan, as Madhav said, generative AI summarization of records is now being used literally. I would say that the adoption rates are above 40% in taking AI-generated summaries. But these are pre-generated summaries. They do not know what are you looking for. They are just an easier way for you to interpret the patent, and they definitely save time. The scanning step, wherein you're not asking those specific questions, they are perfectly suited for that, and it is doing actually, it is a solution that has very much fit the need use case. And the third one, wherein you're going a deep dive, that challenge is there that, hey, I do not want this generic summary. I am looking for something which is very specific to a question. Like Madhav said, today I'm looking for some composition, tomorrow I'm looking for some heat reducing agent. Where I believe the solution to this is assistants, and this is where assistants are coming into play. This in PatSeer recently we have added that, is that you can actually ask specific questions to the full text of the record. So it's like you can chat with the patents and you can get answers which are deeply hidden into the text. And that is also because we realize that you cannot expect the summary to be answering everyone's questions, because it's just restricted to 200, 300 words. So I believe that we will see more and more use cases of assistants, wherein the assistant is processing the full text of the patent, saving you time, and giving you answers specific to your questions. And this is really also, we are seeing people, fitting that use case. Yes, on to you, Madhav.
All right. Any question here now with all the discussion? Any thoughts? Anybody wants to add, ask question, comment on whatever is discussed so far? No? Sure? Okay. So let's get back to the, let's go to the next point, future. All right. So what is really possible, right? Whatever we shared as pain points, are they solvable? Can AI really do that all the time, right? In all steps of a project, right? Search, screen or scan, analyze, insights, visualization, at times visualization, automated. Most of the automated visualization and most of the tools are very generic. But now, context-based visualization, right? Is it possible with AI? So, would like to hear from you that, where do you see the AI helping us to save time? I'm not saying that the full report should be generated by AI, but with whatever prompt is provided, will the database and the AI behind it or the AI tool will help generate the output, maybe question by question. I'm not saying all at the same time, question by question, so that we can use that information directly for insights and actions.
I think the answer in short is yes, definitely. We believe it can be done. And, these are nascent stages, right? And IP, as we know, practitioners, it's very complex. Right? There is a lot of subject matter, domain expertise gathered over a number of years, right? All of you sitting here, Madhav, you, Nimisha, everybody here. So it can be done, but it requires some patience and some level of training by the organizations as well. If you're looking for ready-made answers, I've been doing this for 20 years, let me throw this into the AI, mostly you'll be disappointed. You'll be, of course, surprised in a few instances as well, because we are trying to make the machine mimic the way you think. Take the technical concept and give you an answer, not keyword matching and the semantic matching that was happening till date. And it'll only get better with time. And if you are choosing the right algorithm, like I said, running it on high quality data, right? We use DWPI, which is easily certified as the most high quality data, manually curated data out in the world, constantly augmenting that with third-party data as well. And we also use in-house experts. Like I have a large team of searchers and analysts as well, around 250 plus. They use this tool, constantly trying to make it better. So over a period of time, it will definitely take care of the scanning process, as you said, and to what Manish attributed to, right? I think the entire community, the vendor community, is working on making life easier for the practitioners. And that is the future we are looking at. You can ask interactively to the AI and it will give you those answers. But the balance is, we don't want to get into the legal side of things. We don't want to confuse ownership tomorrow, because the courts are going to look into it. The PTOs will wake up to it. So it's very important that you choose the right partner in terms of, am I getting what I need? Am I getting the efficiency gains, but not at the cost of compromising my IP? That is a choice that everybody will have to make. But I think from a technology perspective, it is definitely doable, is what I would like to add.
Thank you. Manish.
So, if we are talking about the future, and I'll approach that aspect, is that the current set of AI, and for those, I'm assuming everyone has used ChatGPT at least, the current set of AI, as they call as large language models, they are next word predictors, eventually, is the terminology for it. You ask a question and they immediately give an answer. What has already happened in 2024 and has yet to make space into patents, and you will start seeing it, is newer models that are into complex reasoning. You can ask the same question, the answer is not going to immediately appear, it's going to take its time. And because what now people are building on is AI models that usually, what they say as, think before you speak. Whereas the previous generation, or the most common AI models that everyone is using right now, the large language models, are start speaking instantly and predict the next word and say that the highest probability next word should appear after the previous word, the highest probability next word should appear. That's what's happening. With the complex reasoning models is another technology that is going in, which is in everyone's mind, that everyone wants, is the capability to be transparent and explain how you arrived at the answer. And that is what literally everyone wants. When you are looking at a prediction, you are saying, even if I gave you the prediction, oh, this is going to happen in 2025 or 2060, you're like, thanks, but that's not all what I need. What I need is how you arrived at that prediction, you know? And that is coming up already, and you will see that making space into the IP space. They will be able to take on more complex reasoning more complex tasks which require higher levels of cognitive capabilities, and they will also be able to explain how they arrived at that answer. And at that stage, you will see a far greater adoption across many different classes of users.
So,
with this development, what you guys would be doing?
So I want to add on what Dinesh and Manish has mentioned, Madhav. I think definitely it is possible that we will see some progress from AI, but definitely I don't want that AI should capture human mind at the same time, right? What is expected, again, I come from the user expectation that Manish has talked about the ChatGPT. ChatGPT give us a prompt, right? If you ask some question, it gives answer, and then it asks certain questions. Now, do you want this next? I think this is something which can be added as a tool feature, as a low-hanging fruit, that are you missing something or some point, or are you missing some feature? So I think that is something doable, maybe, I don't know. But AI is, again, it requires human intelligence, because no matter how much databases are using AI, it's garbage in and garbage out. So unless users don't know that what they are asking, what answers they are looking, AI will not going to help. So for that, I will add Dinesh's point that there is some training, awareness, education is required at the user end also when they are utilizing AI.
So it's users training and the tools training, both are actually required in this case, right? Then you get a better output. What?
Yeah, everything I think almost Nimisha has pointed out. I think it's a wish list, whatever she has made. I will just add to the wish list that yes, human and non-human connections are very much important, because see, now it's happening that yes or no. If I say it's a command based, switch off the light, it will switch off, switch on the light. Suppose that I will say, can you just reduce the light, I will say intensity by 25%, it's not possible. So now, both for, because Madhav was telling about the analysis, and I didn't go to analysis till now. We have the very less time left. For both search and analysis, I need very specific answer. And I need to be educated, as she mentioned, need to be educated the how to talk with the machine, how to talk with the interface, which language he will understand my command and give my the result. And also, what command I will provide, then it's possible that very specific information. Otherwise, as she mentioned, the garbage will be the garbage in, garbage out, garbage in will be there more. Garbage out in will be less, garbage out will be more. That is our next generation wish list as a user.
Right. So there is a tool. So AI is a tool or a way of doing your work in a better way. it is going to give you some or the other output. How relevant the output to your work is based on your subject knowledge, which you will be able to compare. Otherwise, anyway, AI is going to do its job. Any questions from the audience? Yep.
So I will take the lead from Manish, what you told, that as of now it is based on the LLM. Now, so therefore it would be reactive in nature, and it would be generic, speaking first even before listening type. But now it has to be matured enough from speaking before listening to listening and speaking, and therefore think before speak like that. However, do you think that there would be any threat that AI may mislead all this type of things in terms of search, in terms of scan, deep analysis and all? So, or you are anticipating that the misleading may be reduced by using the AI? Can it mislead the searching? In fact, instead of landing somewhere, it is going to land somewhere else, which may not be understood by the people who are going to do that, and later on it would be having bigger implication in terms of the negativity.
Sure, I'll take that up, and that's why I said, with the existing generation technology, it is giving you its output, and it's up to you to, analyze it and see how relevant those results are, like if we talk about AI search. But the moment it starts taking more complex reasoning capabilities, and that's why I said that these complex reasoning capabilities are coming up with a feature that explainability is inherent to this, because whether it will mislead or not is something I cannot say, but it will be able to explain how it arrived at the answer to that complex question, and then it's for you to decide whether that was a misstep or whether that's logical and you can accept the answer.
So as you say, user needs to understand what to expect from the tool. Still, you cannot take the output as 100% correct, even if I would say AI matures. Is that correct? Yep. Any last question? No? Thank you. Time is already up. Thank you, guys. It was a great interaction. Thank you for being a good audience. Thank you.
Well, such an interactive and an insightful session it was. I'd like to have a round applause of applause for all our delegates and speakers. May I now invite our moderator to kindly felicitate our speakers. First, we have Dr. Tarakranjan Gupta, Senior Principal Engineer at Baxter International. Next, we have Mr. Manish Sinha from PatSeer. Next, we have is Dr. Nimisha Patre from Dow. Lastly, we welcome Mr. Dinesh Narayan Kuti from Clarivate. With this, we come to the end of our technical sessions. I'd like to thank each and every one of you, the speakers, the delegates, and especially my team members who made this event possible. And this is your host, this was your host, Arjun Singh. And have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a short break and we'll reconvene at 5:45 for the award ceremony. Thank you. Thank you all.